everybody. Welcome back to day 2 of our yoga challenge. Today is a challenge for our spine. So we're going to do a couple of rather challenging poses today. We have lots of levels, so don't worry at all about where you are. We have something that will work for you. Um, we tend to be kind of moved forward most of our day. We can be reading on our phone or a book. We tend to hang forward, cooking, eating, working on the computer tends to all bring us forward. We want to go ahead and let our body open up from the front so that we engage the muscles of the back and around the spine and the glutes, and we let the space get a little more movement than normal. So some of the challenging poses can create some tension if our nervous system responds in a way that is kind of defensive. So we're going to work on the breath first to keep our body relaxed and let our nervous system know that we're safe, we're not going to go too far, we're not going to hurt ourselves, and it can let those muscles open. So the way that we do this is inhale through the nose for 4, and then out the mouth for 8. Even just one of those really helps me relax. Inhale through the nose for 4. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time, inhale through the nose. And that sigh out your mouth, you might notice that sometimes happens automatically when you start getting stressed. It's your body's way of relaxing you. So thank you, body. The next exercise is going to be our moon squats, just to open up those joints before we really get started with anything. Like I said yesterday, you can go ahead and use some blocks or pillows underneath your feet, something that feels sturdy. I like to use my rolled up yoga mat. Feet are about hip distance apart, toes gently turned out, not super far, but maybe 10, 20 degrees. Keeping the body nice and upright. Try not to bend forward, nice and tall. Inhale the arms out and up. And we'll exhale, crossing those hands, making some fists and hinging at the hips, letting those hips go back. Inhaling and exhaling. You can, that feels right for you now. Inhaling, this time taking the arms out a little wider. Maybe lifting the head and chin. Exhaling, coming down, making sure that we have weight across both feet equally. And all the way through the balls of the feet and the heels, especially the heels. Out wide. Exhale down. Last one. This time we'll hang out at the bottom. Maybe for you it looks like this. Rib cage laying on top of the spine with the arms and head dangled. Maybe you can come all the way down and just hang the torso between the legs. Again, keeping pressure on the heels. Feeling some stretch across the hips and maybe through the ankles. Probably some relaxation through the head and shoulders. But maybe already feeling a stretch through the spine. Anywhere you're feeling it is okay, as long as there's no pinching or sharp shooting pain. Generalized tension means you're stretching. One more big breath here in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Great. Now we're moving on to pigeon pose. There's a couple variations here. I'll start with the chair. We can do this from a seated position. We'll come out to the edge of the chair with our body. We're hovering right on the edge, feeling nice and stable still. Feet are underneath the knees, toes pointing forward. And we're just going to bring one ankle up over the knee. If this is a little too much for you already, we can go ahead and straighten that bottom knee and bring it below the knee, even maybe all the way down to the ankle. Our goal here is to feel a stretch across the hip and into the deep part of the glute called the piriformis. Pigeon pose or making a little wing. If you feel any knee tension, I want you to pull the toes back on that bent knee on the top. That stabilizes some of the muscles around the knee. If the knee starts to pop up, that's okay. It just means there's a little tension there. You can either take a little less intense form of the stretch or just wait until gravity pulls down gently. Wherever we are, keeping this chest up nice and tall, shoulders are wide, head is balanced. We don't want to hunch forward here. If you have a need to take a break, you can kind of lean back. That will release the stretch as well. If you'd like to try it on the floor, we do the same thing on the floor. We start on hands and knees, but this time we take gravity in a little different direction. That front knee comes up, maybe the heel stays under the groin. If you want a little deeper stretch, it can come out and let the hips come down to the floor. That back leg straightens out and we roll onto this thigh in the back. We have a tendency to kind of open up when the stretch is tough. Again, it doesn't have to be here. This one can be rather intense. And we just use our hands to support the weight, keeping the shoulders out, chest up and forward. Belly is relaxed, letting the hips pull down with gravity. If you need to, go back to that breathe to relax breath, inhaling for 4 through the nose, exhaling, soften through your groin, let your belly soften. One more breath on this side. Really let that exhale release the tension. If you're on the floor, we'll tuck our back toes. Bring that knee forward and slide the other knee back. Do the same thing on the other side. If we're seated, we can just switch sides, maybe letting the legs shake out for a moment in between if that's needed. Again, we want a little greater stretch. We just move that foot out to the side. The front knee comes out on the other side of the shoulder. Back leg is straight. Back thigh is on the floor, if we can. Again, feeling that stretch across the hip, the front hip and the glutes. Or if you're in the chair, the top hip. Soften the face, maybe make a little smile. Helps relax the muscles of the face. Inhaling through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the mouth. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more breaths here. Imagine all the tension exhaling with your breath. Soften your groin and your belly. Really let this last exhale go. And again, to come out from the floor, we tuck our back toes. We pull that front knee back into our hands and knees. If you're here, you can do a little cat-cow pose, just warming up through the spine, releasing any tension. If we're in the chair, we can do the same. It just looks different because it's on a different plane. Still arching as we inhale and exhaling as we round. Just bringing some lubrication to the vertebra of the spine, letting that energy flow through. All right. So our next one is called either inclined plane or reverse table, depending on whether our legs are straight or bent. In the chair, it looks like we're holding on to the chair behind us. Again, our hips are right at the edge. We're leaning back. We can lean all the way back into that chair back if that feels good, as long as we're not on wheels and we're not going to roll away. And we lift the hips any amount. Just stretching through the front side of the hips. If you want a challenge, you can straighten one or both legs as we're here. And we don't have to hold it for very long. Hold it for maybe 5 to 10 seconds and then release. Same thing on the floor. We sit back. Our hands are behind us. I like to keep my fingers pointed toward my hips. You don't have to. You can do whatever feels comfortable for your wrists. Both knees bent, a reverse table, or we can straighten one or both legs, coming into inclined plane, or reverse plank, some people call it. Just do that a couple times. Exhaling as we lift, and inhaling as we release. We'll do that one last time, really stretching through the front side of the body and engaging the muscles of the back side of the body. Shoulders are wide. Right. And then we'll come down. Give the legs a little shake. Maybe you can bend the knees or lean forward. Give that back a little stretch. And our last pose of the day is our most challenging pose, but again, there are levels. So the first level is we come to the wall, feet standing about hip distance apart. Arms come out and up, palms pushing into the wall, and then we lean our forehead toward the wall. It may touch, it may not touch. As long as we're feeling a big stretch across the shoulders, that's fine. The closer the feet are to the wall, the less intense it will be. The further away we get, the more intense it will be. And we can always come down onto our knees. Same exact movement, a little more intense when our knees are away from the wall, or the most intense option. We have our crown of our head toward the wall, and we walk our hands up, and just let gravity take everything toward the floor. Deep stretch in the shoulders, the armpits, probably even a stretch to your back. If we feel any pinching in this low back, means we're in too intense version of this pose. So just go back to one of the less intense versions. Knees or feet closer to the wall, less pressure. Let the head hang toward the wall or the floor, and come back to that breathe to relax breath. Inhaling through the nose for 4. Exhaling through the mouth for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Inhaling. Exhaling. And we can release. Go ahead and, if you're on the floor, lie your forehead onto your hands. Just rest there for a moment. If we're against the wall with our knees or our feet, you can come back to the chair or the floor. Coming back to that breath, we're going to relax the body. Maybe give the shoulders a little shake or some circles. Maybe a little hug. If we have that one, we switch so we get the other side too. Maybe roll the neck if that feels good, very gently and easily. Beautiful. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we'll just settle our face, settle our belly, let our chest and shoulders relax. If you'd like to take a little twist to one side or the other, feel free. Again, try not to drop, keeping everything level. Maybe the head turns as well. Inhaling back to center. And the other side, if you're twisting. Twisting at the end of practice really helps reset the spine and the nervous system. Helps the lymph system move all of the juices around, any toxins that we might have squeezed out of the muscles, the lactic acid, making them sore. That just helps to speed that through the process. The last 3 breaths that we're going to do are more balancing breaths. We're going to inhale and exhale through our nose for 4 in each count. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for practicing with me today. Let me know how it goes. I'm sure you're doing great.